Talking Points memo, sensing they could soon control the federal government. Some liberals are on the march. We're not talking about the far left here. Those fanatics are always on the attack. No, the liberal establishment uses the far left to do damage, but sees itself as above the mud. However, they're feeling pretty frisky these days. Two examples. First, Senator Sherrod Brown, a Democrat from Ohio, is a straight-down-the-line left-winger, rarely straying from the party line. A few days ago, Brown was trying to rev up the base at a Biden rally.
They're going to pan over to Bill O'Reilly, and you got this good TV. You're going to see a little tear coming out of the side of his eye. O'Reilly looks into the camera and he said, "I got to announce that Barack Obama won the state of Ohio, and he's the next president of the United States."
The guy did it 5 times, that lame bit, in one day. And here's the problem with Brown's ranting. Factor has been very fair to Barack Obama, and the senator has acknowledged that. Somehow Brown didn't get the memo, so we sent producer Griff Jenkins to give it to him.
Can you give me one example of where O'Reilly has been unfair, disrespectful to Obama?
I just think it's very clear who Bill O'Reilly's for in this presidential race.
Can you give me one example? That's all I ask you.
Really?
Senator, would you like to think about it and get back to me?
Sure. Senator Brown is welcome on the Factor to explain his propaganda, but he might want to talk to Barney Frank first, as honesty is our policy here. And that's where the New York Times goes off the rails in the honesty department. Yesterday, the Times ombudsman, a guy named Clark Hoyt, who's supposed to keep the paper honest, actually wrote an article disputing the Times is a liberal enterprise. Sure, and Bill Maher is a Franciscan. 80% of the columnists at the New York Times are committed left-wingers, and if you saw the nasty piece on Cindy McCain in the Times this past weekend, please send it to Mr. Hoyt. At the end of his amazing column, claiming that Times has been fair in its election coverage, Hoyt writes, quote, "Robert Lichter released a study concluding that Obama was faring worse than McCain on television news." Bill O'Reilly of Fox News, who had previously praised Lichter's work as proving that the media was liberal, was incensed and rejected the study. Like a lot of news consumers, O'Reilly appears to have a hard time with information that does not fit his view of the world, unquote. Now, that's just flat out false. I was not even close to being incensed. My objection to the study was not ideological. It was based on the method used. Skeptical questions were considered negative coverage by Dr. Lichter. Since Obama was getting dramatically more attention than McCain during the primaries, of course Obama's negatives would be higher. Just on questions alone, and that is what I told Lichter.
What I'm worried about is that your study goes out in the media, and that the left-wing media, which actively is working to get Barack Obama elected, can say, "See, we told you we were being fair." They're not. Your study can be used to distort the true picture, is what I'm saying.
Now, Talking Points believes Hoyt's never heard that interview with Robert Lichter. We don't believe he listens to the Radio Factor. We suspect he got his information from Think Progress, a far-left website, because the only place Lichter was interviewed, the interview was discussed, I should say, was on that website. Of course, Hoyt did not tell his readers anything about using a far-left website as a primary source, and that is blatantly dishonest, sir. The New York Times strikes again. It's no wonder the paper's in so much trouble. Now, the main point here is that fair-minded Americans might have something to fear if hardcore leftists gain control of the government in 2 weeks. They already control the Times, NBC News, and other powerful media, and you can see for yourself what is happening. And that's a memo. Now, for the top story tonight, let's bring in our top media watchdog.